Hey, it's the big guy here from Sawtooth Bushcraft. Clinton Miner asked me to fill in for him today and to share some ideas for you and your family for some things that those bushcrafters in your life or those preppers in your life might like to have for this Christmas season. I understand too that you can give presents for Hanukkah, and it's a great time for Hanukkah presents as well. So any of these things today, we're going to go through 12 items that are fantastic items, reasonably priced and well within the range of anything from stocking stuffers to actual gifts for the ones you love and the ones you care about that are going to be in bushcrafting situations or in preparation situations. Going to start off with one of my very favorites, and that is this. Now I want to tell you, with this video, I'm going to go ahead and put links where you can purchase these. Most of them are going to be on Amazon. Just click on that link. It'll take you directly to Amazon. You may have to sign into your Amazon once it's taken you through that link. And if you'll do that, then I don't see anything. I don't have any contact or any connection to your Amazon account, except that your purchases at the same price you would pay if you simply went on to your Amazon account are going to help our channel out and help out our bushcraft school in moving forward. So the first item is called Survivor Cord. Survivor Cord is an excellent thing to have. I'm going to take off these gloves so that we can get some things done. But Survivor Cord is an excellent resource to have in your bug out bag, in your day pack, in your bushcraft accoutrement bag, and I'll show you why that is. Boy, I think I need to sharpen my Mora there. In this cord are a number of things. Like any 550 cord, any paracord, it has the 5 strands of nylon cordage that can be taken out and used separately. So you've got the outer hole, and you've got the 5 white strands. In this one, actually, you have a 6th strand. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe we got 7 strands. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, one of those strands has got multiple colors. It's red and white. That's to use for, these can be used for anything from fishing line, for tying shoes, for sewing, all kinds of extra purposes. Obviously, if you're using the paracord for paracord, you want to leave those in, but there are some survival opportunities. There are survival options to be used in this paracord. The beautiful thing about Survivor Cord, though, is that in addition to the nylon cords, there's also a piece of some jute that has been waxed that you can rough up with your knife. Just spread out those particles until you got a little bit of a fray. You throw a spark from that on your Ferrocerium rod, and it's a fire starter and a fire extender. It's got wax on it, so it'll burn quite a long time, and it stays waterproof because of that wax. Also, in this Survivor Cord, I don't know if you can see it because I can barely see it, but there is a piece of wire without any insulation, just a piece of snare wire. Again, another great thing for multiple purposes, including setting snares. And finally, in that Survivor Cord is a strand, the full length, of monofilament fish line. So you've actually got your fishing line. You don't have to use that white or red and white line for your fishing line. You actually have a strand of monofilament clear fishing line that you can actually fish with. Fantastic resource. Again, I'll put a link to this. I buy it in spools of 100 feet, but you can buy this in chunks at various lengths, and it's more expensive, obviously, than paracord, but well worth the value to have in your bushcraft and preparedness items. The next item I have here are the basic Mora knife, or Mora knife, the Mora knives that a lot of bushcrafters like to use. And I typically, you can see they come in all shapes and sizes, or all different colors, no shapes and sizes. They do that too, but this basic Mora comes in all kinds of colors. They've got pink, they've got blue, all kinds of colors. I typically buy mine in high carbon steel, and the reason for that is if in a pinch I really need to, I can strike a spark off the spine of my knife and get a fire going. It's a difficult thing, but certainly something with a little practice and a good piece of hard rock, something like a quartz, a jasper, a chert, or flint if you've got it. You can do that. When they come to you, they come bright, shiny, and new. They're beautiful. They have a rounded spine that is not particularly good for some of the things we use these knives for. And so I process those, and I'll put up another video explaining how that process works. But I process those by taking, placing them in a vise and using a file to put a 90-degree spine on so that I can strike on my Ferrocerium rod, so I can scrape off some of the Fatwood to get a fire started. I also then soak them overnight in some basic white vinegar. And when I do that, obviously it changes the finish fairly substantially. Isn't as pretty, but I'll tell you what, this helps a lot because high carbon steel rusts. And what you've done is you've put a patina on this, which is a fancy word for rust, but you've put a rust on it that is based on the vinegar and the acid in the vinegar, as opposed to simply oxidization from the water that would cause the rust. And this helps prevent additional rust, helps keep from pitting, and provides also a non-reflective surface, so you can keep a little more stealth if that's what you're looking for. Great knives. I'll put a link to those. Typically those are under $10. These are great stocking stuffers. One of the best knives I've ever had, and I've used knives that are well in excess of $150. At $9.99, these will stand up against those in any test I've done and provide you with all kinds of options as far as bushcrafting and preparation. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. The next thing, I am, hopefully, if I remember to do it, we will do a little bit of a test with that jute here in a minute with the Ferrocerium rod. But the next thing I want to point out is a little thing I stumbled on last summer. And I'm going to recommend that you buy the actual name brand, and that is Pocket Billows. This is a sneaky little thing that makes a huge difference when you're trying to get a fire started. It looks like somebody went out and took all of the neighbors' telescoping car radio antennas off their cars. I don't think that's what happened, but that's essentially what this boils down to. It's simply hollow, and what it does, it's a billows. It's a way for you to get oxygen to a fire. And instead of kneeling down and bending over and breathing the smoke while you're trying to blow on that fire with your head down and getting all dizzy and lightheaded, you simply use it like a straw in reverse, put it in your lips and blow. Now it does two things. One of those is it concentrates a fairly large amount of air down to a fairly small amount of air. But more importantly, what it really does for you is it focuses and is easy to aim your air. You don't have to guess whether you're blowing in the right spot. You put it right on it, you blow on that fire, and it gets that extra oxygen to it. Last summer I had about 20 Boy Scouts sitting around a fire blowing on these, and we had a fire tornado going because of the amount of air that we were putting into that fire in kind of a circular motion. Individually, it works almost as well. You blow on that fire, it makes a huge difference in the intensity of the flames that happen once you've got a decent flame started. You don't want to blow it out. But once you've got that flame started, it makes a huge difference. can help get that flame going when it's kind of going a little slow. A great product. Again, I've purchased some from China, and they work fine, but they tend to pull apart fairly easily and are almost impossible to put back together. I highly recommend that you use the Pocket Billows, the actual name brand. And again, I'll put a link to this in the description so that you've got a place that you can go out and purchase those. Again, fantastic thing to put in a stocking, to give to a fellow employee at work who's a prepper minded or who is an outdoor person. A great gift for this time of the year. A great gift to use all year long. Super help when you're trying to get that fire started.